So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Assalamu alaikum, beautiful people. May peace, mercy, and blessings be on you. Salam, namaste, adab, and a warm welcome to every single one of you attending this live event called Can You Mic Drop? Organized by the Boss Ladies Club in collaboration with TUTO India. Thank you for coming in today. We have a full fun-packed event ready for you, a debate competition on the topic social media, benefits and harms. The teams, the speakers, the participants are going to be talking on for or against this topic. I welcome all of you to today's event. Now, we started this event with a video. I'm looking at the comment section here. I want to see how many of you knew who was in that video. It's a very famous video. It's a very, very famous speech by a very famous personality that happened a few years ago, about 40, 50 years ago, more than that. Do you all know who that was? Do you all know why this video, why this speech is so famous? Martin Luther King. And this video, the speech that he gave, I have a dream. How is it that so many years later, on the 25th of October 2020, this video, this speech is still so inspiring? How is it still so power-packed? You saw the video, right? You saw that there were thousands and thousands of people there in the audience, and all of them looking at this one man talking. How was he able to grab the attention and the whatnot of all these thousands of people? You see that the video is in black and white, so you know how old this is. But how is it still that strong? How was this one man able to say, I have a dream, and let that touch all of our hearts? Did you see him have any props? Did you see him use any PowerPoint presentation or something? All those gimmicks that we think will make our talk reach the audience. Did you see him use any of that? No. All he used was his voice and words. That is the power, ladies and gentlemen, and that is what today's show, Can You Mic Drop, is all about. Your voice and your power, and the way you are going to present, the way you are going to touch the people's hearts, the way you are going to connect to your audience. That is exactly what the Boss Ladies Club and TUTO India have organized this event for. To show you that it's the voice and the words that have more power. The gift of the gab. And our participants here, the top 8, have proven that they have the gift of the gab. So without any further ado, I am going to call upon my boss lady colleague, Rana Fatima, onto the screen.
A warm welcome to all of you. We are all set for today's live debate competition. And audience, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's see who can drop the mic today. Can you mic drop? And yes, we, the Boss Ladies Club, are so happy and grateful to collaborate with TUTO India. And I'm so happy to invite the founder of TUTO India, Mr. Sagar Mohan, to join us on screen.
Hi guys, thanks a lot. Thank you. This event wouldn't have been possible without Fazla and Rana. They have been really back. They have been the backbone of this event, and we are really fortunate to be collaborating with these two wonderful people, and also with the Boss Ladies Club members as well. So we are looking at 8 power pack speakers who have obviously had their say on our Instagram profile. And we are looking forward to taking this event to a new level after this. And yes, we are definitely going into the next, I mean, through the live, debate competition. And I would like to invite my intern, Vasundhara, who's been with us for over a month. Yeah, so Vasundhara, please take the event from here, and all the best to all the participants today.
All the best to all the participants. Audience, sit back and enjoy the show.
So, hello everyone. As Sagar introduced, I am Vasundhara. I'm from Jammu and Kashmir and I'm having my BTech in Chennai. So, now as you guys know me, I see all the participants are ready to take on the event further and they are ready to share their views. So, let's see who breaks the ice. First of all, I'm going to call our first participant who is 19. She is from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and she's an undergraduate student and she's doing her BA in English. So I would like to call Hima Moli as the first participant. So Hima, are you ready to take this on?
You say that. Hi.
Yeah,
Can you
hello
hear me?
Hima. Yeah. So all the best, Hima. Break the ice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Social media, is it a boon or a bane? Is it the plague that is ruining our society, or is it maybe the spirit of revolution? This is a debate that's constantly been around ever since social media began to progress and people began to go online rather than and face-to-face interaction became less. Now, in this pandemic, obviously, we are all relying on social media quite a bit. But is social media, or in the longer run, in the bigger picture, is it working to our benefit, or is it working against us? That's something I want to address. Now, I believe that social media does work to our benefit, and this is why. Now, I could give you points like we're able to connect over social media, and people from like different parts of the world are able to connect. I'm able to speak in this pandemic. I'm able to speak to people that I can't see in person, and as a poet and an artist myself, social media is what gives poet and artists like me a platform to say what we want. It's what gives people who are not able to find their place and their platform in the real world, it gives them a place in the online world for them to be heard, a fair chance like everyone else. But I want to go beyond this. I want to look at the effect of social media as a society. What does it contribute according to me, right? social media Social media today isn't just about us connecting with each other and us saying whatever we want. It's also about creating awareness. Look at all of the issues that we face as a society today. And yeah, when we look at it, whenever we read the news, it is depressing. But we know all of this is happening because of social media, not because of the newspapers that, let's be honest, none of us read these days. Not because of the news channels that are just constant, endless debates and rhetoric and shouting that no one really wants to hear. I'm sorry, Arnab Goswami, you're just annoying sometimes, right? Social media is the platform in which everyone can express what they want and moreover highlight news that we don't get to hear on newspapers or on these debate platforms, because those are controlled by money, those are controlled by politics. Social media is free to all, and that's what allows different voices to come forward. That's what allows marginalized communities that could not be heard before to come forward and be able to have their issues heard, to have a platform to make people understand things about their community, about their group, about specific issues that no one had heard of before. Think of the CA NRC protests. While all news media, while the newspapers and all the various channels began taking sides, began being partisan. It was either pro-government or anti-government. There was no protester view. Social media did that. Look on Twitter, look on Instagram. That is where the protests happened. That is where we knew what was going on and what our government was doing, apart from what the news told us. Social media is what exposes is what exposes things for what they really are, because it shows us so many different perspectives, because it shows us more than one side of the story, because you can see more than one side of the story and you get to choose what you want to believe, not just what another person chooses to feed you, not just what politicians think you should know, and not just what the news media decide would be good for their TRP. You get to know and you get to decide what you want to believe. That is what social media offers. And I talked about marginalized communities previously. Think about I mentioned the Rohingya. I don't know if I mentioned, but the Rohingya community and the crisis that they faced, that has been highlighted through social media again. The various feminist issues, the recent the Hathras rape case, and there are so many other horrific cases like that, human rights violations that are going on around us every day. And whether or not the news channels want to report it, social media will, and we can all be sure of that, because that is the power of social media. It cannot be controlled, it cannot be contained, because our politicians have tried. The US government tried to bring Google and Facebook into their courtrooms and tried to restrict their content, saying that it worked against the government and it contained hate rhetoric. They couldn't. You know why? Because this is a platform that all of us own. This is the platform of the people, controlled by the people. And no one else, not their politics, not their money, and not their TRP rating, can tell us what we want to say. That is the power of social media. Now, while I say all this, there is also a question that can be asked. So while you can create, awareness about so many issues, while you can, make people aware of things like the Rohingya conflict, the CA and RC protests, and the Jammu and Kashmir conflict that was highlighted by social media, while all of that happens on one side, social media being open to everyone and allowing different narratives to come in also means that hate rhetoric can also come in, right? Social media is also a place for negative propaganda, which means that the same government and the news report channels and all the biased opinions can also be reflected on social media. Isn't that something negative about it? That the fact that it has no filter can work against us? That is something that you may ask, and you would be right. We do have the platforms and voices like that. We do have people that use this open platform to negatively impact society, to create a kind of hate rhetoric, to spread awful messages, and even to spread false news. I mean, like, we all get WhatsApp forwards. They're ridiculous, but they exist. How do we combat that? Well, there isn't a real answer we have so far. This is also the negative side of social media. The fact that the price of the openness, the price of having a community of the people is that it will reflect all the people, even the voices that we don't necessarily want to hear. But let's look at it in the long run, right? When I thought about it, when I thought about all the negativity we hear and all the hate we get to hear on social media also, I came to reflect on the progress we have made as a generation so far, right? Now, now, when we look at the age of social media, it basically moves from a time that we can probably trace to be in the 2000s, is when social media comes to prominence, starting with like Facebook, starting with Gmail, and then progressing to like WhatsApp becoming more popular, and so many, and I don't know how many social media platforms exist now. But with the advent of all these social media platforms, we have changed much more faster now. Don't believe me? In the past 2 decades, think about how far we've come in terms of things like women's issues, in terms of having like different cases being heard, in terms of people being more aware of what's going on around them. I heard of the transgender bill recently on my social media platform. I heard of the kind of oppression that they're trying to do to a certain community. And I heard about this not through the news channels that never reported this, but through social media. I heard about this, and maybe I also heard negative voices, but it gave me a choice as a person of what I wanted to choose. And that's where it wins, because as a community, look at how far we've progressed in the past 2 decades. Think of body positivity has been made possible through social media. Think of things like tolerance between different communities. Think of things like feminism. So if there are negative voices, if there's hate speech, how is such progress possible? How are we making leaps of progress that was not made in centuries before us? 2 decades of social media has been much more than centuries of progress. Our change is faster than ever. How exactly is that possible? Remember I told you about the openness of the platforms? That's the thing. If when you put something out there on social media, it's open for everyone to see and it's open for everyone to talk about. Which means when we are talking about issues in real life with one another, we may only be talking to like a limited number of people. Or even when we're addressing crowds, we are most likely addressing crowds that already believe the same things we do. Think of it, when you go to a lecture or a speech and it's on feminism, right? The people who are attending the speech aren't people who are not convinced by feminism, or people who are male chauvinists, or who believe feminism is false. The people who are attending are people who already believe in feminism. But social media isn't like that. Social media is open to all, which means that you will be facing narratives that sometimes make you feel uncomfortable, that sometimes open your eyes in a way that you didn't look before, and that can be a very disorienting experience. But it makes you aware, it allows for a conversation between people, which means that I can talk with someone who has the opposite beliefs as me. And whether we choose to like start spouting slurs at each other, or whether we chose to have a civil conversation, it allows for that conversation to happen, for that communication to happen, that most likely wouldn't necessarily happen in real life. Or even if it did happen in real life, would probably be a lot more dangerous to both of us. So it allows for a lot more open communication. It allows for things to be put out there and for people to process and to choose. And that's the power that social media possesses. Looking at more negative aspects, because, let's challenge this idea of social media being good in every way possible. Let's question this. We have things like people putting out their information more and more. We have issues like people disconnecting from reality, and all of those things that people talk about social media impacting lives and impacting mental health. And to an extent, it's true. It's true that social media does negatively impact how we communicate, because we don't really speak face to face that much. But let's be honest, it's coronavirus. We're not going to speak face to face anyway. But more so, there are safety there are issues with safety. There are issues people have with like their information being accessed through social media. There is a dark side to social media. There are people who have faced horrible experiences because of social media, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's an all right thing to happen, because it's not. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that nothing in this world is perfect, and everything is a work in progress. There will always be flaws, and there will always be dangers. So, the spirit that we have to move forward then is to correct the flaws, to improve what can be improved, and to progress further with the knowledge of our mistakes. And that is why social media is the spirit of our revolution. We are the generation of change, and social media is the instrument of our change. Thank you.
That was amazing, Hima. You were truly amazing. And I really liked how expressive you were while you were speaking, and how you were using your hands and facial expressions. It was truly amazing. I would also like to highlight another point here, that like you're talking to your laptop right now, and you didn't have any other participant to argue with you, right? And
Yeah.
you really played the role of the other participant as well. You argued, like challenged your own points and how you gave answers. I really like that. Hima, all the best for the results. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
So I hope all of you guys liked it. So up next we have Jonal, and she's 17. She's from Toothukudi, and she's a first year student. And as I see her, she's an anchor also. So as an anchor myself, I would love to hear your debate also. So all the best, Jonal. Are you ready?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, thank you. All the best, Jonal.
Thank you, Aisha sister. And I first of all like to thank boss ladies for giving me this opportunity. And as like what Hema sister told, there are negativities in social media. Actually, I was wondering why is she mentioning about negativities? Like it's my my part to say, right? But I was thinking because there are negativities, and no one can tell that there is no way we can ignore all the negativities, right? It is so she has to mention it. She cannot actually ignore everything and say no, social media is giving a good opportunity. So that's why I was like thinking, yeah, exactly, she has to mention, right? Yeah, and she did it too. Okay, so my part, what I am here to tell you is that social media is giving more negativity than positivity. That is my own point, because no one can tell, like there are many positive things which are happening through social media, so we cannot tell we must ignore social media all over. But while coming with the negative points, what I felt was that uh, let me tell you an issue. Polachi issue, right? Everyone know that, and Polachi issue was trending recently. Actually, I was wondering how come people be so usual to talk with unknown strangers in FB. But we are actually, you know why? The main reason is that, are you able to hear me?
Okay, we had a little issue with her there. Just give us a minute. We'll join her right back in. Jonal, everybody can hear you. You can continue.
Okay, so what I was telling, yeah, Polachi issue, right? I was actually wondering how come a woman or a girl share her personal feelings to a stranger, but actually in this world there is a lack of love. So people are blindly trusting people, right? There is a weakness of every people, but still, social media is using it in a correct way. I think, like in a bad way, but from the perspective of social media it's right, because that is where they can earn. You know what, we are using WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything, and we are like telling, oh wow, who created it? It's an amazing interface, like everyone are getting lots and lots of uses through it. But still, remember guys, nothing comes free in this world. So remember, someone is yearning, and when it is good, then it's okay, fine. They are giving something good for us and they are just earning. That's fine. But actually, there are lots of problems. Like many lives are dying through this social media, because in Polachi issue we came to know that nearly 246 girls were being harassed using this social media platform. I was really, it was a shocking news for every one of us, right? Because we never thought that social media can make this much impact on a personal life of a human being, but still it is happening nowadays. Actually, Hima sister told that most of our news, it's hidden through the politicians, but we still hear it through the social media platforms. Yeah, exactly, it's true, but still I just want to keep a question for the students, or for the participants who are coming next. I just want to keep a question. Okay, fine. News, opportunities, and good interface platform, and everything is, let's keep it by a side. Is it equal to lives? If we keep one side all the opportunities and whatever positivity the social media gives, let's keep it one side, and the other side just keep all the negativities, especially lives. nothing can be equal to life, right? Because life is something very, very essential, and life is something which is the most important thing we all value for it, right? So social media is a platform where it is causing deaths also, right? Because recently, in Instagram there is a issue which was going on, that there are some profiles being sold in Instagram. I don't know whether you guys know, but there are, because some Instagram profiles of girls are being sold to other people so that they can easily do a hacking or something else, and they can post it in the wrong websites. This is very usual nowadays, and there are many girls who are doing suicide through this incident. I don't think like social media isn't needed. I know we can't ignore it as a whole. I already told you we can't ignore it as a whole, but still we can give us some restrictions, and even we can demand the interface for giving us some restrictions. See, like all the people cannot have their own restrictions and controls, right? So we can demand, if a demand is given by all the users, then definitely WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter is going to give it, right? So while coming up with Facebook, the interface is very good, but still, while seeing it from a girl's perspective, it's like it's not unsafe, right? It's not safe. We feel unsecure because talking with strangers isn't good, but we can't tell all the girls don't talk to them, they will not, right? So we can demand for making the interface little bit restricted one, so that it might be useful. So I just say that social media is needed, but still there are a lot of issues with that, so be careful with that. And let's all make a resolution that social media is needed, but still what I can do is I can restrict myself so that we can be careful, right? And that's why I conclude this, friends. Thank you.
Yeah, Junal, that was a really great one, and I really liked your confidence in whatever you were speaking. So, up next, I would call Sabreen Fatima, and she's 14 and she's from Chennai. And okay, to my surprise, she's a ninth grader. So, let's see what a ninth grader has to offer here. So, Sabreen, can you turn on your camera and unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
I can't see you, Sabreen.
Ma'am, my video is on.
Yeah, yeah, now I can see you. So, are you ready, Sabreen?
Yes, I'm ready.
All the best, Sabreen.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can start now.
So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone, and greetings to all. So, I am here to speak about the boon of social media, that is, the beneficial effects of social media in our society. So, social media has both boon and it has both boons and bans, where we can expect some, uh, a part of benefits from it and a part of harmful effects from it. So basically, in these days, social media has become one of the inseparable parts of human lives. So literally, every day we come across, we use social media for everything. May it be to share some information, not to gain some knowledge, or for anything. So, like how Janal's sister was actually posing one question for us, like it was not safe. It is not safe for the girls who use social media. It's not like it's not safe for everyone. The point is how we use social media and for what reason we are using it. The purpose of usage of social media is very important for everyone's life. So if we intend to use it in a bad way, and if we would like to talk to strangers, then surely we are going to be in some problem in the future. If we would like to be safe, then it's no, we have to be in a protective surrounding, and we have to use the social media in a great protection. We want a great protection. So then there are a lot of useful information which we could get from social media, and that could increase our general knowledge. And in social media, we can also post a public opinion which we feel about any issues. So if there is some interesting issues or some problem happening around us, then the only one platform where we can share our issues is public is social media. There is no other way where we can, share our issues. And as Hima sister told, the most of the issues have been hidden by politicians, and that is revealed only in social media platforms. So in my opinion, of course, I already told you that social media has both boons and banes, but according to my opinion, 70% will be beneficial in social media, whereas only 30% is going to be harmful, because the harmful effects are caused only according to our usage of social media. And then the social media apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and all helps us keep connected with our family members at any corner of the world, wherever they may be. We can it helps us to be connected with them at any time we want. Not only relationships, but still we can communicate openly with everyone. That is in random. We can communicate with anyone we want, and that is basically how we use social media. And the main the main reason why I think social media is beneficial for the society is we get to know about the current affairs happening and the latest happenings, so that we may be aware of those things. Because most of the literally most of the rape cases have been hidden from us, which later comes open through social medias. And that rape cases where girls have to be more safe from from those strangers. So this is the only one platform where we get to know about all these, and where we get to uh, you know be protectful of ourselves. Then yeah, so social media also uh, making it makes our relationship stronger when even when we are apart from each other. So in my conclusion of my argument, social media is always beneficial for people and will also be more beneficial to our future generation, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So my mind is totally blown with whatever how confident Sabrine was. Like when I was 14, I don't think I was doing anything except going to school or something. And you're already getting so much exposure. You are participating in things like that. So I'm really glad. I encourage you to continue all this, Sabrine. And that was a really great argument. So
Thank
yeah.
you, ma'am.
Yeah. So as Hima talked in favor of technology or social media, we may say, and then we had Jonal talking against, and now Sabrine talked in favor of social media again. Up next, we have Rihanna Sarah Thomas. She's 17 and she's from Chennai and talking about her studies or occupation. She's a first year student. She's from Women's Christian College. So, yeah, am I right, Rihanna?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so are you prepared? How are you feeling about today's event?
I'm very grateful to TUTO for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to do my best.
Okay. All the best, Rihanna.
Thank you. Yeah. So, good evening. I'm here to speak against the proposition which reads: has social media benefited or harmed the social lives of humans? Prior to getting to the depth of the topic, we will need to dwell on a few key terms mentioned in the topic: social media, benefited, and social lives. Three terms which are often misunderstood and on several occasions quoted out of context. Let me explain. It was the Greek philosopher Aristotle who said, and I quote, "Man is by nature a social animal, an individual who is unsocial naturally, and society is something that precedes the individual." Unquote. Man is a social animal by the above definition, but an individual who is unsocial naturally, and yet society, according to Aristotle, precedes the individual. It is in the understanding of this definition that the crux of my arguments lie. Roughly a decade ago, a movie titled The Social Network was released, and it was loosely based on the theme of a social networking app and its creator. What is the lesson that this movie leaves behind? The venture was immensely successful as a business model, but the founder, in fact, severed ties with several people along the way. And you'd think the inventor of this app would have more friends than anyone? Not so much. I leave the conclusion to your learned minds. Social, a key term, is repeated twice in the proposition for this evening. What does the term social mean? What is its origin? The English word social is derived from the Latin term socialis, concerning a partner or an ally. And if we were to expand this, social means partnering or to ally with. Alas, what is the so called social media used for today? Creating trolls that mock the acts of fellow humans, creating memes that belittle, judge others for their personal decisions, while all the time pretending to be someone we are not. Just a few days ago, two people got married. A whole fortnight was spent on the so called social media dissecting the anatomy of that union. Who bestowed powers to the social media to sit in judgment? Where is the socialness here? The couple lives ostracized today. There are periods of unlock for all of us. And today, to relieve the stress, I had ventured to a leading safe eatery for a family meal. Social distancing was in order. Hey, hold on here. Social distancing. Let distances separate partners or allies? Well said and practiced because a false sense of closeness was being perpetrated by the social media. Recall Aristotle's words unsocial naturally, and we are being reminded of the truth again. Traveling across the town the other day, the line of vehicles stalled to a halt. Stepping out to find a reason, I witnessed a huge gathering of people, each of them jostling over one another, armed with their weapons in hand, the mobile phones. Everyone wanted to stream the incident live, post a story in a quest to garner likes, while the victim of a gruesome accident lay fighting for life. What has social media fostered? Insensitivity. Statista, a global provider of consumer and market data, reports that 16% of all social accounts are fake, and to be more precise, 1.7 billion fake accounts were taken down in the first quarter of 2020. Where does this leave us? Leading false existences, creating a portrayal of someone we are not just for the sake of being accepted, of being in, being fished with a P, cheated, and sometimes take an advantage of, eventually facing depression and bouts of anxiety that harm our health and mental state. Just pause and look around. People on the bus looking down, people walking across the streets staring down, people waiting for the train, waiting for their flights, sipping a coffee, being insensitive, unconcerned, uncaring, living virtually, not socially as we ought to. Live the moment on Insta, monetize the tube by being judgmental, have a faceless, pretentious existence on Facebook, tick-tocking by the clock while being locked up in a room. Where is the social part in all of this? It is time to detox our way of life to a higher, more meaningful way of real social coexistence. Let's put a book to our face and an uplifting thought to our lips, truth and sensitivity to our expression, and be the person we are born to be socially. Oops, this has been streamed live. Did I say the things right after all? I rest my case. Thank you.
That was great, Rihanna. I really liked that. Whatever you said was backed by facts. I really liked that, and I have a lot to. I took a lot from your speech. I learned how we can make our speech more influential by backing it with facts. So thank you, Rihanna. That was a great one.
Thank you so much.
And now we have uh yeah. So I see Taha here. So Taha is 20. He's from Chennai. He's a second year student from the new college. He's doing BSc Zoology. And I see, interestingly, he's a video editor also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So are you prepared for today, Taha?
Yeah, I am prepared for today.
Yeah. So all the very best, Taha. Take on the stage.
Thank you for that introduction, Isha. So I want to start by addressing the addiction caused by social media. Like, uh,
social, like a lot of people say, social media causes addiction. But I ask you, what is the alternative? Like if we take social media out, people are going to be addicted to something else. Like people are addicted to drugs, people are addicted to alcohol, smoking, and also in 18th century England, it was documented that people were addicted to novels. And to say that novels are bad, like it's good. Reading is good, and also exercise. People can be addicted to exercise, and also people can be addicted to eating. So uh, addiction is caused by a lack of self control, a lack of self responsibility, and not understanding what you're getting into. Yeah, it is possible to get addicted into social media, but that does not mean it is harmful. It should be controlled. I mean, it should be, you should use it safely. So, social media, first advantage would be communication. Communication is much faster than it has been. Like, you could communicate fast, uh, but you could communicate fast without the use of social media. And you could write a note on a pigeon's foot and send it over to United States, but it would probably take half a month. I mean, probably take 3 months to get there. I know it seems anecdotal what I said, but you could send a text message and it'll reach there within milliseconds to someone in the United States. uh, and banking is much more faster, much more safer, because your data is encrypted. And sorry. And marketing a product, you can market a product, like for example in Instagram, if you see, uh, if you type and search for sixth finger, they're a company that make uh, uh, how can I describe it? It is used to touch objects without actually making contact with your hands, which is really useful for right now with the pandemic. And this was solely marketed by the use of social media. And social media is also targeted for having negative effects, like fake news. Fake news is a huge deal, like like broadcasting, even like CNN, as an example, like the broadcast fake news. And so social media is free. You can call them out. You can call them out. You can say, "Hey, you're fake news," right? And then social media can uh, be offensive to people. Like people can say something that you don't agree with, and you might find that offensive. But social media allows a lot of free speech. So if you understand free speech, uh, like really understand it, you will ignore that. You will ignore that, and you will address it. You'll address only true criticism. So I think social media does more good than harm.
Yeah, so that was you were very on point with your points, Taha.
Yeah.
So that was a really great one. So up next we have thank you, Taha, for that. Yeah. So up next we have Leah Sarah Philip, and she's 22. She is from Chennai. She is a postgraduate student, and she's from Women's Christians College. Yeah. So all the best, Leah. You can take this further.
Thank you, TBLC and Tuto, and of course, Vasundhara for the introduction. And thank you for having me as one of the speakers. And this evening, I would like to start by saying that I'm most certainly not against social media. Any one of my friends or followers will tell you that I'm certainly not averse to the semi regular Instagram post or Facebook upload or even a Snapchat story. And perhaps even more importantly, being an international studies student, social media allows me to stay on top of the news and, of course, to stay in connect with family and friends alike. Now, more importantly, social media acts as a positive implication for many people living in developing countries. And some of the world's largest social media companies are at the heart of these positive changes. Now, social media does give a voice to people. It does allow us to fight for what we believe in, keeping people safe, and it allows us to create a movement in the name of what we think is right. But the fact of the matter is that the motion put before the House tonight is not about the benefits of social media. It's not about whether you think or I think if the internet is good or bad. The motion put before us tonight is the impact of social media and what it can have on our interaction, on our relationship, and each and every one of our lives on a deeply personal level. Now, the reason we are so addicted to phones, like the previous speaker said, is actually because we get a hit of dopamine every time we use them. And we all know that this is a neurochemical thing. Now, which is the reward molecule. So it's every time we get a like, or we get a tweet, or we get anything to do with online gratification, it stimulates the brain in a way that a hug does, or even having drugs. And dopamine can actually make you fall into a loop. And it is making us get out of touch with reality and not see our friends as much and actually break down relationships. Now, we keep seeing this headline on BuzzFeed and other such articles, the most Instagrammable spots in India, the most Instagrammable restaurants. Now, can you imagine visiting a location not to experience the culture or to take in the beautiful sights, but simply because it was great to share on social media? Our experiences in our real lives are becoming less important than containing a certain image online for our followers. Now, our real human connections or even physical presence is being replaced virtually. And the simple truth is that for the most part, we are spending huge proportions of our lives living in the digital universe, and it is corrupting the way that we act with each other. Now, I can tell you that social media does have a part to play in depression, as well as in platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Tumblr. It gives people a distorted image of how their bodies should look, and oftentimes the result is a serious mental illness that is far-reaching. And of course, like the previous speaker and the first speaker did say, that it can be argued that Facebook and Instagram have simple methods for reporting self-harming and suicidal tendencies. But it is also a chilling indictment of the extent of this problem. Now, I think we all inherently know that by being constantly presented with highly idealized views of our peers, social media elicits feelings of envy and feelings of inadequacy by entailing us with the often false hope and belief that other people are living much more successful and much more fulfilling lives. Now, as we all said, social media is not exactly the evil, but it can very well be dishonest, and it presents us with a standard that is unrealistic, a reality that is unreliable, and a world which has been filtered and altered for the benefit of another person or a particular group. And that is the very essence of corruption. Not only is social media corrupting the way that we behave as individuals, it also affects our life and the way we interact with others, to the society, to our friends, family, and of course, to political leaders as well. Now, let me give an example of Facebook. Now, Facebook's fake news scandal, which happened a couple of years back, where the fake Facebook employees were accused by several other journalists of falsely choosing articles that appears as trending on our newsfeed, which was motivated by their political beliefs. Now, this alteration of information, this filtering of our reality, is once again in the heart of the said corruption, because the issue goes deeper than any one scandal. And social media gives a massive following for people who are popular rather than people who are professional. Now, we are becoming spectators for other people's lives than living our own lives. And engaging in too much of social media, it sort of masks our social interaction. But it doesn't really nurture a physical relationship or a true relationship. We are not having organic interactions with each other, with our friends or family, or even with our political leaders. And if you actually think that you're having an organic interaction, then I hope that you will be more skeptical. And to summarize the entirety, my message is simply that we don't need to condemn social media, but we need to be aware of the fact that it is corrupting our lives. And so this evening, I say to you all that it's time to stop stalking and start talking. And sometimes you can learn a lot more by simply looking into an eye of a person than you can by looking at their social media profile. I strongly stand by the resolution that social media harms the social lives of humans. Thank you.
That was really great, Leah. You were very confident with whatever you were speaking. You were expressive, and I really liked it. So thank you, Leah. Yeah. So up next we have Ume Kulsum, and she's 22 and she's from Bangalore. And talking about her occupational studies, she's a post-graduation student, I see, and a finance supervisor at HDFC Bank. So that's a great thing. We are having professionals also here along with students. So all the best, Ume Kulsum. You can take it forward. All the best.
Thank you so much for this introduction. Let me start up. Assalamu alaikum, beautiful people watching us today live here, and thank you, the Boss Ladies Club and TUTO in, for this wonderful opportunity to raise our voices against social media. And to start up with, I would say, be the first version of yourself, not the second version of someone else. I'm Ume Kulsum from Bengaluru. Talking about social media benefits, being a financial analyst, I would rather go upon the businesses that are being conducted on social media, and therein they have grown so much that even if it's just a normal small business, it's shown a rapid growth, and people are loving it. So let me start up with a few points, telling that social media from past 2 decades has proven it is beneficial. It is something that has kept people motivated. It has kept something people has being inspired by it, and it is something that people are excelling through. So, without a further ado, let me start up with the benefits of social media. First of all, the best benefit, and the first one would be faster and easier to communicate. So, social media is something which is really faster and easier to communicate. We do not have to go to certain stores to buy something and to interact with our salesperson. It's just online. You see the product details. You see all the details. You have every option left in the portal, and then you just have to click it easier, ordered, and it will be delivered to you whenever the delivery has to be done for you all. And it is very easier to communicate even if there are any false errors and any mishappenings in the product that you have ordered or it's been delivered to you. It's quicker and easier to just send a mail through your mail, and they get back to you within 28 or 24 or 48 hours. And that's how you clear your even doubts. There's no way to go outside. Okay, taking an example of the current situation that is going in the world, the pandemic COVID-19, it was so easier for people to sit and order online, get things done online. And I think the social media helped people through a lot of things. Coming to my part, I think it was one of the best impacts for me that I had, that it worked with me a lot. It worked with me for working from home, may be just talking to customers or people or doing something, but it has benefited us a lot. So I think it is very faster, very reliable, very easier to communicate with anybody we want. And the second point I would put across is networking. So networking is really that is something which is really required in today's world. As I spoke already in my audition video, that what we were thinking about technology in these days, where just IT sectors are having the technological knowledge and nothing else apart from that. But looking now in this situation, even if a commerce student has to work, he needs to understand what technology is. If a art student wants to do something which is really exceptional, which is good at work, and which by which he has to make a career, I think technology has played a very vital role. And I think social media has benefited because we have certain platforms on social media that has benefited us, that has enhanced our energies, that has boosted our confidence. And it is so amazing that we come across certain things that are so relevant. Okay, coming again to the third point that I would like to mention is boosts visibility. Okay, as I said, being a financial analyst, we always look into people's visibility, and to see how confident they are, to see how analytical they are, and to see how perfect one can attract their customers. So it is really important to be visible to people. It is really important people to be visible to the retailers and the wholesalers.
So it is one of the important. Now if we just randomly sell one thing, okay, let me take an example of this smart TVs that are being launched in the market in these days. One person launched say a smart TV with all the Android features, another person, immediately the competitor comes in the competition and launches another import some they have just a little change, but they show it so beautifully and so clearly that the customers obviously fall here apart. So it is networking, and it has to be visible. It has to boost the visibility of one people, that they have immense crowd that they will attract. And coming again to the next point that I would like to speak is the impressing the customer potential. Now the basic motive of retailer or a manufacturer is to impress their potential customers. They know their potential customers, so what they do is they enhance their visibility so that the potential customers come in, and they do an excellent job. So that is how they attract potential customers through advertising on various social media platforms, say like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and everything. So we come across all these social media sites not just to stalk people, not just to look around something what's happening in the world. It's also about marketing, it's also about financing that is running in the world. And every detail about finance, every detail about whatever we are going to get, and every detail about the related career world, I think it's social media that is helping people to come up and certain to perform certain ideas. So coming across next is the branding. So we have come across a lot of social media pages, say they have something as a package of 1 year or or 1 month or 1 week, where they brand your product, or they brand your communication, or they brand whatever it is essential for you. So it is so common nowadays in the social media that they have branding pages, where they take some certain amount of money from you, and they promote your pages so that you can come across and excel. Again, coming again to the, it increases the competition between the customers. My next point, it increases the competition between the customers. As I gave an example of the TV brands that are coming in our competition, so that is how the competition is. Now let's say for an example, in Bangalore there are two cake artists whom I have really liked, but there are certain things that are being copied from the one who has the higher position, and the lower position tries to innovate but copies, but imitates. So I think that's not what we have to actually get benefited of. Social media is something, you have a competition, though she is a senior baker, though the another one is junior, her student itself, but still challenging to like come up and show her innovative ideas and everything, but still lacking with imitating. So I think social media is beneficial because the businesses, that lady has just immensely increased her business all over Bangalore, and she has delivered cakes even to Dubai. That's how business can reach from your hometown to the foreign destination also. So that helps you boost your confidence, your competition that has come across, and all that important factors that a business man actually looks for. That I think that is a platform, social media is a platform in today's generation. I think from past 2 decades it's been proven beneficial. So I think from the past 2 decades, even till today, even till now, we have social media that has benefited a lot of us, a lot of people. And also it has put across a word. You have brandings, you have shout outs, you have whatnot things that helps you promote your business, that helps you promote everything. And even now, working with HDFC, I think we have a lot of social media platforms where the first information is leaked on social media platform rather than any news article or on any news channel. Anything that comes first is always on social media. And I think social media has impacted because we know people come to the social media, they spend a lot of time there. That is why people are getting attracted to it. The business is running, 70% of the business is running through social media. And I would cover up with the last point, that is nothing but your increasing traffic. Okay, so increasing traffic is nothing but it is very important to know that who are your potential customers, who are your competitors, who are your defenders, and who are your enemies that are backstabbing you. you. That's how business works. There are a lot of people who love you for your business, there are a lot of people who hate you for your business. So I think we come across certain factors in life that yes, social media is beneficial. I think I would totally agree with one of the speakers said that 70% of the social media is being beneficial. Yes, of course, social life of humans benefits. I think social life of human also includes a business, and that is how being an analyst of a finance and being in a field of business, I think we have seen certain things that has come across. And yes, I would like to conclude that social media has a lot of benefits, and that is how our businesses are working. Thank you so much.
So really glad, Ume. And I must say that I was not able to take my attention away from whatever you were speaking, like for even a second. Yeah, you could grab my attention like that properly. So that was really great. All the best for the results, Ume. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, guys, lastly, we have Anissa Jamal. She's 20 from Chennai, and she's a final year student at Women's Christian College. So, yeah, hi, Anissa.
Hi, Vasundhara.
So, all the
I,
best, Anissa. You can
yeah,
take it forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sociology is more about psychology than it is about technology. A very warm welcome to one and all present here today. My name is Anissa Jamal and I'm doing my BCom in Women's Christian College. I'll be talking about how social media harms our social lives. Without moving away from the topic, I would like to present to you a few data. Did you know that 81% of the people use social media and 70% of them use it every day? Don't mistake social media as something like calling or checking on your phone. Using your phone and using social media apps are two very different things. Using your phone may be informative, may lead to some benefits, but I don't see social media apps leading to some benefits. A normal child, according to a survey, is predicted to use any social media app for an average of 4.5 hours. You tell me, what benefits would you gain by using a social media app for 4.5 hours? It would be asinine to say that you gain confidence or you develop a few skills because you have other informative apps for it. But I don't think social media is really needed. What do they do spending so much time? The more time spent on social media can lead to cyberbullying, social anxiety, depression, and exposure to content that is not age appropriate. I'm sure all of you would have seen like random pages just coming up on your desktop, and you realize that, hey, I haven't even subscribed to anything, or my history doesn't even show something similar to it. Why is it even popping up on my page? You realize that the content which is shown isn't really appropriate or isn't something which you would be happy to look at. And young people, they spend a lot of time on social media. The more they are more susceptible to peer pressure, low self-esteem, and mental health. It is also associated to depression and sleep problems. I'll just give you an example. Maybe this wouldn't look really great, or it would just be like, hey, it's just a post. Suppose there are two people, A and B. A is extremely social and B isn't very social. A's birthday is next week, and everybody started to post pictures and put stories. 8 more days for your birthday, 7 more days, and as the day comes up, everybody went to wish her, put up stories on social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, here and there, and whatnot. Whereas B, she just spent time with her family. B was happy. She was really happy with what she did. Maybe A was also, but but B just felt like she had the fear of missing out. She was like, hey, I don't have that many friends. I just spend time with my family. And yeah, it just affected her mental health so much. It intensifies our primitive and fundamental emotions like envy and jealousy. Maybe for no reason, B wouldn't have even encountered A, and she would have started feeling so jealous of her that why is she having so many friends? I'm not going to talk to her. I don't like her. It indirectly affects her social life without us even realizing it. And social comparison is nothing new. Two people comparing each other, it's not new. It goes all the way from human civilization. But in recent times, Facebook has amplified our envy by multiple times. Like, if you used to feel a bit jealous maybe back then, now even you just see something, even you wouldn't have even seen it properly. You just had a glimpse of it, and you make up a whole good news scenario in your mind, which may not even be true, and then you just form envy and jealousy. And yeah, it's social media is just a hotspot where people post about their lives. But don't get it wrong, they don't post everything about their lives. They only post the positives. You don't see anyone posting the failures out in open, like, hey, I just lost the game, hey, I fell down over here. No, I haven't seen anyone posting such things. I would have seen people posting the success stories, would just made me feel that, oh no, maybe I'm not succeeding that much. It just makes my self-esteem down, makes me lose on my confidence. This can paint a flowery picture on everyone else, but on the person who's posting it, it's just training us to compare our lives instead of appreciating everything we have. And that's why do you see so many mental health issues coming up? Like, it's even found out that 33% of the mental health issues come out of teenagers who say that I have the fear of missing out. I see a friend of mine doing this, and I don't know, I just feel out. I don't feel the same. I don't feel like other children. And yeah, and at times we end up doing things we don't really want to do, right? Like suppose I don't know, maybe you just don't like you don't like doing a particular thing, but you know that this is something which is accepted by everyone, but you do it just for the people to see. And how do the people see it? Through social media apps. So you do it for the favor of them seeing it and for them to like you. That's not the way how you make a social life, right? You would want to have a friend circle who would accept you how you are, and that's not happening with the millennials around. They do something which is in trend rather than doing something which they want to do. Yeah. And there was a speech said before where it was told that social media helps us get news which other news apps probably where we have to pay. And yeah, I was just pondering about it. 84% of the news uploaded on any social media app is found to be fake, and it's even done by genuine journalists. They post up a picture or an information looking at a particular news, and it's just found out to be fake. So social media is one of the last places where you should go to be like, oh hey, look, I'm going to get some general knowledge by it, yay, I'll improve my GK. That's one of the last places you should go to. And yeah, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's Instagram reels. Yeah.
Really great, Anissa. That was a really great speech, and you were so precise with your points. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah.
us. Yeah, so guys, here we conclude the event, and I must say that every one of you guys, every single one of you were so precise with your points, whatever you said. You guys were very expressive, you had confidence and whatnot. I'm truly amazed by, on a personal level, I have a lot to take away from today's event. And I must say that the kind of influence you guys were having, I was constantly shuffling between no, 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 social media is right. And then the other person comes and changed my opinion. No, it's not right. And then again, it's right. So you guys were totally like, you had that power to influence whoever was listening to you. And obviously, the results are up to audience. So all the best to everyone who participated today. So for with now that being said, I would like to hand it over to Fazila.
Thank you, Vasundhara, for hosting that. Truly, these participants were amazing. The kind of confidence that they had, it's like mini, starting Martin Luther's already. I have a dream. The video that we put in the beginning, it's like this was their first step. Thank you so much for handling the participants session, Vasundhara.
Thank
I
you,
would like to
Fazila.
call Sagar onto the screen now.
Hey participants, you guys gave an amazing talk. we all were thoroughly entertained. Yeah, entertained, informative speeches that you had, and it was all. See, the thing is, this is online. Yeah, so having a proper debate takes a lot of practice. Since not a lot of practice has been done, you guys have given a type of speech, but you are obviously speaking to the other people who spoke before you. Yeah, so this has been an amazing event, and you guys have done a really good job. So the voting opens at 6:30 or 6:45, and will be open until 8 o'clock. Yeah. Before we all leave, and before we have a backstage review of what was happening during the event, we are going to call a 9-year-old kid. Yeah, Muhammad Rizwan. He's here, and he participated on Instagram. I think all of you would have seen the video, and this guy is really good. He's got a power punch, and I'm sure that if he took part today, I think all the votes would have gone to him. So he's here is Mohammad Rizwan with his speech, or with his talk on the same topic that you guys spoke on.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, everyone. I am Rijwan from Ero district, Chittor. First of all, I thank you for choosing me as a guest. Today, I am going to speak about advantages and disadvantages of social media online classes. Advantages. Students have the freedom to juggle their career and their school because they aren't tied down to a fixed schedule. The cost of online education is very low compared to going to school. The students can sit on their comfortable places and can study. During raining season, because of uncomfortable circumstances, students find it difficult to go to school, but online classes made it easier for them. No dress code is needed for online classes. Disadvantages. Online classes require more time than on campus classes. There is no face-to-face conversation between the student and the teacher. Every student cannot afford an Android mobile only. Middle class or rich can afford it. Teachers cannot afford an Android mobile only. Middle class or rich afford it. Teachers cannot monitor the student whether they understood or not. I end up by saying this. Discipline is lacked due to online class. Thank you.
Amazing, really good, super, Mohammed. Thank you for your speech, and yeah, it was really good. And you should be taking part in more debates in the future, more talks. Keep doing it. Keep participating.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and we will keep seeing you on TUTO as well as TBLC platforms. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So we're moving on to the next the next part of the event, which is us telling you how the backstage events went. So basically, what the backstage events is about, you saw what you saw on screen, right? Everything that you saw was only on screen, but what happened behind the screens is going to be shared by Rana Fatima. So Rana, please come on screen, please.
Hello, Sahar.
Hi. How was the back screen work? How did you manage everything? How did you pull it off?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to talk about Rizwan actually. I am truly inspired by Rizwan. He knows that his opponents are elders, much knowledgeable, but still he was not scared about his opponents. He used this platform to show his talents, and I'm truly he inspired me. He showed that he has a lot of self confidence and willpower. And at the same time, he did a last minute registration, but still he did not give up. And he was sitting at midnight 12 p.m. and he was recording this video.
Wow.
And yeah, Yeah, so thanks, Rizwan. You are really an inspiration. Keep on going.
Yes, Rizwan. So Rizwan, a part of TBLC and Tuto is to always give opportunities to whatever age. Yeah. So we don't see that you're young or you're old. We always give the chance, the opportunity. So and you should always take up opportunities that come your way. You're still young and you have a long way to go. So you've started very early, which is very good. Yeah. So this is the way to go, and we always wish you luck. Yeah. So
Even our other
over. Yes.
participants, they approached us with a lot of interest and enthusiasm, and they were so loving and friendly, and they just did a great job today. And all
Great.
the best to all the participants. Shall we go over to Fazila to introduce the judge for today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, team. What an event! The participants we are having rightly said this little boy, 9-year old, last minute registrations, comes up, makes sure his video is sent, and you know what? He was promoting his own video to get votes. This
Yeah.
little boy was actually doing that. And all the other participants, the enthusiasm they showed, the points that they put up, they were on fire the whole time, sticking to their topic, putting across points, doing the rebuttal in the time they got. Amazing, super. I think it's time we call upon the judge, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Let me have the honor of welcoming Madam Fatima Muzaffar. She is an international orator, an activist, a politician, among so many more other things. Thank you so much for accepting our last minute invite, ma'am, and for accepting to be the judge for the event. Kindly share a few words with our audience.
Thank you for that introduction, Fazila. I think I should thank you, the TBLC and the TUTO, my dear Saga. You youngsters in the world now. That's really great. And I should congratulate all the participants who have come in today. I've been hearing to each one of you, right from Hima to Jonal Jeba and Sabreen, Rihanna, Taha, Leah, Kulsum, Anissa Jamal, and the superstar of the day, our Mohammad Rizwan. Each one of you have really rocked the stage. And I've taken so many points from each one of you, and the way enthusiastically you all put forth your points, that's really a great thing. And the beginning, which the a wonderful historic speech and the introduction with which Fazila started the program, this debate. As Sagar said, it's not physically we are present, it's all digitally, we all are participating in this. So it's a very big challenge for all of us. But nevertheless, the challenges makes us more tough, and we get to learn so many things. That's why a Jammu and Kashmir student who's in Chennai is participating. We have Jeba from Thuthukudi who's participating. We have Rizwan from Erode who's participating. That was really, that's thanks to technology. And the topic with you all put forth was something really for us to ponder upon. And as one of the speakers said, it's not only all the negative things which are put in the social media, though that's the majority which is dominating the social media, all the negative propaganda, the sensational, the breaking news. But amongst all that, you people, in spite of all the darkness, Tutu and the TBLC is lighting a candle, or in fact, you are the candles, and you are creating more candles. The youth like you, who are doing such creative and constructive and beneficial programs, you people are going to rule the world. I was just going through about the youth power. I just want to share this with you all, and this I never expected this mind-boggling number. The United Nations population census 2015 has reported that out of the world population, 20% of the youth of the world are living in India. Imagine you guys are 1/5 of the world population. Every young Indian, boy and girl. The youth age, you all know, 15 to 29 years. That's what the United Nations says. So each one of you represent 1/5 of the world population. Coming to India, this is something very interesting you all must know. India's census of 2011 said way back then that the youth of India are 19.1%. That was one-fifth. But now the present population census of India says that the youth of India are one-third. Every 1 in 3 person walking on the streets of India is a youth. So you guys are a huge population. India is a young land. India is a young country. So they say, tell me in which your youth is interested, and I will tell you the future of your country. So what are you interested in? Gaming apps, movies, Netflix, and all the series which is coming there? I'm not talking for or against it. But I am asking everyone who's watching this program, especially the youth and all you young leaders and warriors who have participated in this program, what benefit are you going to be taking from the social media time that you are investing? Remember, it's your time. It's your time. It's your life. That in which you put your interest, that will grow. I hear it very often from my husband at home. He keeps telling that very often to my children, that in which you invest your time, that will grow. You invest your time in all the gaming, you're going to be an expert in the gaming. You're going to be investing your time in all the Netflix series. You're going to be getting a lot of knowledge about all the series. You're going to be investing your time in all the movies and the news and things like that. So that knowledge is going to be increasing. But turn it around and ask, what are you benefiting out of that? Because you are the leader of India. You are the leaders of the world, and you have so much power in you. It may be a boon or a bane depending upon which icon you are pressing and in what you are investing your time. I'm so happy that I got this platform to share these thoughts with you guys. I don't have to go in length and breadth to explain these things. You people are, mashallah, blessed with high IQ. Just one word is enough for you to understand the entire wisdom behind it. Only, the elders need to be explained in length and breadth in a class. But for you guys, just one icon, just one word is a trigger enough for you to, have so much of knowledge, and I'm sure you are going to be gaining from this. I congratulate every participant, whether you all are come to the final list and going on from here, whether you're going to win or lose this competition. It's not in the winning or losing, but the spirit of participation, like how our Rizwan, this little warrior from Erode, subhanallah, he has set a trend. Really, he's going to be a superstar. He's going to rock the world, inshallah, very soon. And TUTO and TBLC, you people are going to be paving the way for identifying and bringing out such great talents. Go on, guys, TUTO and TBLC, the people behind this, working on behind the screen, putting in your efforts day in and day out. You all are doing this not for your name, fame, or popularity, but you are doing it for the Youngistan, the NXG, the millennials, who, especially the Indians, who are one-fifth of the world and one-third of the Indian population. You are going to be creating history. TUTO and TBLC is going to be playing a major role in that history. I just want to conclude my talk by giving little bit takeaways for the participants of the day. I found, alhamdulillah, only 2 of the participants utilizing the entire time given to them. Others have finished up early on. I suggest that you utilize the entire time allotted to you. That's the very first thing, because every second, especially in the digital media, when you're competing, the time allotted to you is very important, that you would utilize the full time. Second, don't go overboard. Nobody went overboard here, but I'm just giving it to you as a reminder that never exceed the time given to you. And the most important thing when you're participating in the social media for a competition is for you to connect to the audience, which many of you did very beautifully, for you to have that eye contact. And I really appreciated that nobody used, I think it was not allowed maybe, the PowerPoint presentation and all the graphics or the pictures. You all didn't use that. That was really very nice. And I could see that you all were presenting it very practically and very naturally. And the gestures, many of you used gestures. I emphasize on it because the participants here have that in them. You just need a little bit of fine tuning. I think recently TUTO and the TBLC had a program for public speaking competition, preparation and guidance classes for that. I think you all should have more such programs, TUTO and the TBLC. I suggest that you have more such competitions where we train such speakers for them to have the eye contact, for the gestures, for the voice modulation, and the matter of your speech. All this needs fine tuning. But nevertheless, I really enjoyed each one's speech. Looking forward to judge along with the votes which are going to be coming in for all of you. And wish you all the best. Congratulate all the participants and congratulating the winners in advance. Looking forward for many more such interesting programs from TUTO and TBLC. You people are going to rock the world. Wish you all the best. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind, inspiring words. We are truly humbled by your words. I'm sure the participants have also, it was a wake up call for all of us. How you presented that youth are the future. No matter what talent we have, we use it to benefit others. Thank you so much, ma'am. We will be waiting for your judgment. All right, audience, we're almost at the end of the event. We are going to be sharing the voting link to you all here in the comment section. You will also find it at the Instagram page of the Boss Ladies Club and TUTO India. We will open at sharp 7 p.m. You can start voting then. We will close the link at 8:30 p.m. sharp. We said it's going to be from 6 to 8:30, 8 o'clock. We've changed that. Voting starts at 7 p.m. sharp, closes at 8:30 p.m. sharp. Go all out in voting. Send the link to your friends and family. Make them vote. We'll also be taking the points from the judge. Let the best of the best win. With that, I just want to conclude by saying, be still when you have nothing to say. But when genuine passion drives you, say what you feel and say that hot. Words of D.H. Lawrence. And I think all our participants did that. Rightly told by our judge, TUTO India and the Boss Ladies Club are here for you. Our platforms are for you. So come on in, utilize our platforms and showcase your talent. This is Fazila Fatima signing off. I'm putting on Rana Fatima to do the conclusion.
Thanks to everyone. Yeah, so hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell notification icon so that you don't miss our upcoming uploads. And you can reach us through mail to tblc.bossladies@gmail.com and support@tutoindia.com. We are open to queries and suggestions. And yeah, so thank you. See you in our next event. Until then, this is Rana Fatima signing off from the Boss Ladies Club. Thank you.